And we are live. Dude, we're live, dude.
Cool.
How you feeling? Let me send you the link right now. Um,
Oh, you
what?
froze up for a second there.
Me?
Yeah.
All right, I sent you the link if you want to send it out. Um,
Okay.
let's just give it a minute.
I don't. That was weird that it froze. Maybe it's because it was.
Da, 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 da. You got a little fuzz right here.
Fuzz?
Yeah. Oh, you got it. You got it. You're good. You're good.
You kidding around?
No, you did have
It's
a
my
little
hair,
fuzz.
dude.
You did have a little fuzz.
Are we live right now?
We are live, dude. I think we have one person watching, two people watching.
Cool.
Um, all right. So, how's it been? Okay, catch me up on life. I know that we put this off for a while. Um, talk to me a little bit about where you're at, where you live in, and what's the next scene for music. Oh, I guess I'll do an intro.
Okay.
We haven't done an intro.
All right.
So this is one of my really good friends, Dennis. I've known him since third grade. He is living in Nashville right now, pursuing music, living with his girlfriend, Nicole, who I have also known since first grade. Knows family very well. And let's see what else. What else is there? Yeah, today we just wanted to talk a little bit about mental health, physical health, talk a little bit about relationships with his family, with Nicole, and then also at the end we'll do a fun thing, talk a little bit about music, and then the fun thing we'll do a speed round of questions, and then just
Cool.
wrap things up there.
Cool.
All right,
Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
appreciate it. So, so, uh, so last time we talked, you were telling me about
Mm-hmm.
a little bit about going plant based and the diet with Nicole. So
Mm-hmm.
what is the workout routine right now and your eating habits?
Yeah. So Nicole is primarily plant-based. So to save grocery store trips, I've kind of started. I mean, the last couple of years started to eat uh, a more plant-based diet. I still do eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, mainly chicken, fish, eggs. Um, but yeah, it was kind of out of convenience that I started the plant-based
What is your
or started doing more of that.
and you said you're fasting right now? You haven't eaten since when?
I think well, I had a beer last night late, so that was like just before 12:30. So
Yeah.
today was going to be a little more difficult, but I try to do 16-hour fasts like 4 to 5 days a week.
Yeah. And
Um,
just cuz, or is there any goals for this?
I don't know. I think I listened to way too much Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So I think a couple years ago when I was trying to get, you know, in better shape and start exercising again and quitting some bad habits, uh, I had heard him talking a bunch about it and other people that were on the podcast and the intermittent fasting thing. So I started doing that. Um, Sorry, I thought you were frozen. You had a real still look in your face. Just making sure.
There
So yeah, I started doing the 16-hour fasts, but I was still like consuming some calories and wasn't doing it properly. So I guess like the last probably couple of years, I've been pretty strict about it, 4 to 5 days a week, just black coffee and water.
Jesus.
Um,
Uh,
and yeah, I don't think it's that bad. It's not bad as long as I do it. If I start the fast at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, it's not so bad because you eat at like noon or 1 the next day.
mhm.
And now it's just become pretty normal. I'm kind of used to doing it, you know, and I don't really feel that hungry in the morning.
And how much do you weigh right now?
Um, probably like 177, 175.
And is that weight fluctuated with the fasting?
No, it's stayed relatively consistent. Yeah. When I first moved to Nashville, I was basically just fasting and doing like a lot of push-ups and stuff. I didn't have a gym membership. I was living on
Yeah.
my own before Nicole moved here for that first 8 months that I was here in Nashville. And so yeah, it was fasting kept me pretty regular and made me feel like I was doing something that was maybe somewhat healthy. I don't know. I'm not a nutritionist, and
Yeah.
but yeah, so my weight stayed pretty consistent. When I do go home, we don't have a scale here, but when I go home and I'm stay at my folks' place or whatever, usually I'll check my weight just because I'm, curious, and it's been about the same for the last couple of years.
Yeah. Dude,
So yeah,
shout out to Ruben Ramirez. He says beer is plant based.
beer.
Do you remember Ruben?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How's it going, Ruben? Ruben, I reconnected with Ruben a bit because he was tuning into the live streams I was doing,
Was he really?
and so I sent Ruben. Ruben's got a couple beer koozies
No
from me,
way.
and yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
Dude, that's sick.
Thanks for tuning in, Ruben.
Thanks for tuning in, Ruben. All right, so
Beer is plant-based.
fasting 5 days a week. Been doing that on and off. Workout routine now. Mostly, what have you been following?
It depends. I mainly will just do like kettlebell exercises, and I'm kind of I still feel like a novice as far as like I don't own them. No, we have a fitness center here where we live, and they have kind of what I really need. I don't lift heavy. Basically, just basic kettlebell exercises.
Yeah.
Shoulder presses and swings, and I mean I need to start kind of introducing some other exercises, but I'm always looking at what Anna is putting on Instagram, and I'll kind of check out some of their EMOM workouts or their quick ones because those are convenient, on days that maybe you don't want to be in the gym for an hour and a half. You just get in there and get out in about 25 minutes.
And that's what really a
lot of pull-ups, push-ups.
Joe Rogan really follows that.
Yeah, and that I that's kind of how I got into the interested in the kettlebell thing. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And most of the routines, are you figuring out like I'm gonna set like an hour aside to do this, or trying to get in, do like certain circuits, or what's like the actual routine look like?
I really don't have what I do try to do is usually, so I like to get in the gym if I can 5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And I've started now, like for a little while now, I like to just have at least 2 of those days where they're just strict cardio days. Mm-hmm. So anywhere from 30 to about 45 minutes on those cardio days. Damn, where it's just strict elliptical, fat burn elliptical, or if I do like 30 minutes fat burn on the elliptical, and then I'll do like 3 rounds of rowing.
Jesus.
3 sets of rowing for like 1,000 meters or something at the end, just to mix it up.
So you enjoy cardio?
Yeah, I like it. Okay. I don't mind. I mean, I think I also kind of enjoy cardio because if I know it's a cardio day, it's less to think about as far as like what I'm going to do. It sounds lazy, but it's less to think about for as far as like what muscle groups I'm going to work that day if I'm doing strength training or any of that. I can just hop on the elliptical for 40 minutes and I know that's what I'm in there to do, and I get it done and I leave, and
do you go?
Yeah, I like cardio.
Do you usually go with Nicole or just go by your own?
Most of the time I'm on my own. Sometimes I've work out with her maybe a day or 2 a week. It depends on if our schedules match up, or if it's like a Sunday morning type thing, or Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon where I like to see what she's doing. So it's kind of opened my mind a bit to like, oh, show me, I'll do your workout today. And it kind of, I can learn some new movements from her, and keeps it fresh for me. You get kind of, you can get stale in the gym, I guess, as far as doing the same movements concerned and that sort of thing.
How has it been like living in a new place now? Kind of working out, also doing music there, and then also working on the side. Has there been time where you were able to connect with other people in the area in Nashville?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've met some, I've got some, a good little group of friends down here, and I'm playing with I guess the last year, a little over a year now, I've been playing with a bass player and a drummer that I enjoy a whole lot. They're great players, and yeah. And other than that, just I've got a good little group of friends, and um, is that what you're asking? Just if I've been able to
Yeah. Like if you like to keep in touch, or like how have you been like trying to uh like
stay connected?
stay connected during like quarantine, especially like since you moved there and it's been pretty new.
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, when I first moved here, obviously this wasn't going on. This was like August of 2018 that I moved here. So, it's kind of nice that meeting people kind of comes hand in hand with, going to any open mics or writers' nights that
Yeah.
um, venues have. And you just, I don't know, it's fairly easy to meet people that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's been cool. And as far as staying connected with people, yeah, just reaching out. I think right now I probably feel um, ultra compassionate and
Hmm.
like maybe because of like the lack of um, human interaction.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm like, I like to reach out. I'll reach out to people I haven't talked to in a while and just say, hey, hope you're doing well. Not even really looking for a response back, but just to let you know, hey, we're just hope you're still hanging in, because I know it's been tough for a lot of people. So I guess I'm just trying to stay connected that way.
Who's someone that you're trying to reach out to but you haven't had a chance to yet?
Oh,
Yeah, dude, these are brain teasers.
I don't know, man. Most people, I really, I'll just reach out to. I usually just do it in the moment. I'll just send them a text. So most people that I want to reach out to, I just reach out to them.
Hmm. Okay.
You know?
The is Nicole home?
Okay. Yeah, she's home.
Nice. Um,
Um,
she can hop on and say what's up if she's free.
cool. Yeah.
But all right. So we talked a little bit about physical health. Sounds like that's pretty locked down. Like you got a routine, eating
Yeah.
well, um, a lot of collaboration with you and Nicole, and also just hearing a lot from like different like influencers from like the fitness world, like Joe Rogan, and
Yeah.
it sounds like he's been promoting a lot of his stuff. He's been promoting a lot of his stuff, and then that's like who you're kind of like looking forward to or looking towards. Um,
Yeah.
on the mental health aspect of things, on the mental, on the mental health.
Is it noisy in here? Or are we good?
No, we're good. Is it?
You good?
Yeah, dude, she can hop
You want
on.
to say? You could say hello. She does not want to say hello.
Okay. And the mental health side of things. Okay, so when you're feeling like stressed, anxious, what do you do to kind of de-stress or work through that or cope with it?
I've noticed that just staying busy, like for instance, like during the day, I've started driving for Uber Eats. So
Mm-hmm.
like giving myself some sort of uh having some sort of like regimen, like, oh, I'm gonna do this today for 5 hours. It's like, like kind of like working a 9 to 5 type thing where it's like I know these hours
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spend with delivery, and then the exercise and everything else comes in after that, or when you can fit it in.
Mm.
That's helped. And that might sound like that's time to avoid whatever issues you're dealing with,
Yeah.
but I think I noticed that when I sit still is when I tend to be most anxious, or yeah.
When you sit
Uh,
still, like what is like the common thought that comes up that is like causing anxiety? Is like
um,
finances? Is it
I
about?
think it's I think yeah, I think it's a lot of things. I think that especially with music, as musicians, we want to. I mean, at least I don't want to speak for everybody, but I know that trying to be out on the road and meeting new people and experiencing new cities, and
Mm,
that's definitely something that I really enjoy doing. So that's been, and it's kind of like necessity. I feel like for people that play live music, it's meeting new people is so important, and taking your new songs to different cities or to exposing them to new ears. I mean, that's what we do, and um, that's kind of been something where it's like I almost feel like we're at a standstill.
Yeah.
And so when I start to think that way, it's like, what am I doing? Usually I just try to, rather than being pessimistic about it, I try to look for optimism in it. So rather than being like, well, I can't do this or I can't do that, it's like, what can I do?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's lots of, there's live streams and there's all this stuff going on right now. And I think that's really cool because it's opened me up to the tech side of all this, which I've never been involved with, really. I'm pretty awful with all that. But so that's been cool. I mean, I guess I'm just trying to see things with a more positive outlook rather than being downtrodden about it and just negative. I mean, there's just that's kind of how I get over stuff that stresses me out or gives me anxiety or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so but mainly like the most anxious thought that seems like it's happening is around music and how to like pursue the career given all these different challenges.
Right.
Okay.
There's and I don't know how many other people do this, and this isn't even just have to be with music, but I think you look at your we all get older and yada yada yada. You look at your at the timeline and you compare your timeline to those that have done what you're looking to do, and it's easy for that to get in your way. So I guess I'm getting off track here.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, so your original question was what again? It was just that you.
It was well, originally it was talking about like when you are feeling certain anxious feelings or anxious thoughts, like what do you do to kind of help with that? And then you were talking about keeping busy with Uber Eats or trying to take some. Yeah. Are you gonna say something?
No, you're good.
Okay, and then it was going into like thinking about like music was a big thing that was kind of occupying your mind, seeing how to distribute, get in front of an audience, or like what's the next wave, or how to adapt to the given circumstances, and then I think that's where we got up to.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I think in general, the times have given us a lot of room for change. We're kind of forced to adapt, right? Or not forced. I guess if people don't want to adapt, that's up to them. But I think that making music or pursuing the arts of any kind, really, I mean, adaptation is pretty important. And as far as putting out new music is concerned, whereas we normally would be out on the road if we can be, or we can't right now so much. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess the other than financial stability and all of that, I don't know. There's a lot going on for sure. But mainly the anxiousness comes from uncertainty, I guess.
Uncertainty.
And I am working on learning how to be okay with being uncertain.
Got it.
Embracing it rather than freaking out about it and just being like, well, okay, like you're just Dennis. You can't compare yourself to what anybody else has done.
Yeah.
Because they're not, you're you, and you need to, if you want to accomplish certain things, then, you can build your plan of attack for that. But comparing yourself to what other people are doing or what they've accomplished is just kind of pointless almost. I mean, it's good to look at what other people have done and how they what their game plans were, just to give you kind of some basic guidelines. But really, I mean, you can only do what you do.
For sure. And,
that's been helpful in embracing that, that side of it, rather than being like, oh, I'm not, they did this and I haven't done that yet, and I'm 28 and they were 24 when they did this. It's like it's just not healthy to do that.
Yeah. And
You
there's
know?
even like with lifting weights, like there's always gonna be someone that's like lifting heavier or lighter than you, and different like
Right.
expertise levels. So yeah, it's really hard to, like, you want to compare, but it's knowing that everyone's at their own pace, they're doing their own thing, everyone's in their own lane.
Yeah, and it's in regards to fitness, I don't even look at that kind of thing anymore. I mean, I don't look to lift heavy anyway, so that's not even a concern. But yeah, I get what you're saying. That's definitely, there's a parallel there.
Yeah. So far we got 7 people watching, tuning in. So what's up,
Cool.
everybody? Emily Laboon says, how much can you kettlebell swing? Getting over to the
Emily, we talked about this before.
All right. What is
Emily told me that Emily was swinging a good amount of weight, and our kettlebells only go up to 50 pounds here. So I really only swing like 50s. And if I swing 2 kettlebells at once, it's kind of awkward, and my stance has to widen up a bit, and it just doesn't feel right. But if you want to send me like a 100-pound kettlebell, I could see if I could swing that. I think I could swing 100 pounds. I don't know.
I'm sure.
I throw my back out.
Yeah, I'm sure Emily could get that hookup for you. Attilio sends a heart. Attilio sends a heart, and that is about it with the people. Attilio asks, any pop music on the horizon?
Pop music. Yeah, I just wrapped up. Just got a master back for a song that I'm going to be putting out, and so that's I don't know if you call that hot music, Attilio, but
pop music.
Oh, pop.
Yeah.
Oh, pop music.
Yeah.
He's asking if I'm putting out any pop music.
Putting any pop music out.
I guess the latest this one I'm going to put out soon is kind of got a pop element to it, but not really. No, not a whole lot of.
Is there a working title?
Yeah, I've been playing it a bunch. It's called Cold Cold Heart.
Cold Heart?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And
no features with Justin Bieber or the top.
Oh no, pop. No features with Justin Bieber. No. Let me know if Justin, if you're listening, which you're probably not. Yeah. Let me know.
You would do one though if he was?
Probably. I'm trying to stay open-minded about everything in general. So like, I don't know. I think if it's a good song, it's a good song.
Yes.
Cool.
I would definitely do one with Justin Bieber. I'll sing something, do something. Background video. Also, Emily says Joe Rogan is selling kettlebells if you're trying to get a 100-pound kettlebell. That's probably going to be pretty expensive though.
Wait, Joe Rogan is selling them, or Onnit is selling them? Because Onnit sells them. They're pretty expensive. A 100-pound kettlebell would be a lot. I mean, to get like a 50-pound or 54-pound, whatever they rate that one for, it's like, I think that one's pretty expensive. Probably close to $70. So double the weight is probably.
So kind of moving a little bit about still in the, I guess, the mental health realm. Have you done meditation before or any type of mindfulness work?
No, not in a while. I tried that app out a few years back.
Which app?
Is he an Australian guy?
Oh,
what's the name of that one? It's a big one. I think they're even bigger
Calm?
now. No.
Breathe?
No. I forget the name of it.
Do you remember the color of the app?
No, but there was like a little
Australian guy?
character. Yeah. Let me see. I wonder if I could.
Headspace.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
That was cool. And then once the free trial ran out, I said, all right, I'm not doing this anymore.
Did it help though? The breathing or the
cool.
stillness?
Yeah, I think I'm interested in meditation, and I haven't done any of it really. So I would like to, if you have any suggestions, feel free to send them my way.
Dude, for sure. Like I
that's
think
something I could probably benefit from that, because I'm like, my brain is just constantly going.
Yeah, especially specifically around like working around like anxiety. Well, I actually bought a oh my god, what is it called? I bought it on Amazon. I think it's called the Zira. It's like a meditation, almost like a pillow. It's made out of like buckwheat.
Okay.
And also bought like a singing bowl. to really get authentic, like a Tibetan
Mm-hmm.
singing bowl. You know, like the spinning thing, and you hit it.
Oh, right.
I bought one of those for more just the decor in the
Okay.
back. But yeah, like for specifically working around like anxiety, like the first thing that we always talk about is like getting control of the breath, making sure that we're able to control the physical sensations that are happening. Like if it's like an upset stomach, if we have like elevated heart rate, clammy hands, um, high tension in the shoulders, knowing
Uh-huh.
that we can control those body movements.
Mm-hmm.
So then once you get past the, or not past, but like once you're able to like identify and become more aware of what's happening with your bodily sensations, then we move into the thought side, which is like the cognitive restructuring.
Right.
And these intrusive thoughts that come into play, then we kind of dissect it, break it down a little bit, and like think about specifically the evidence that's happening of the thought.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically when we're comparing ourselves to is like um, identifying what we can and can't control, what's actually happening in the moment, and
Mm-hmm.
then what are thoughts that like say like if I was talking to a friend or if I was talking to you or you were talking to a friend, like what suggestions would you say? Because it's
Right.
always easier to tell someone else how they're doing or what they can think about than it is when
Mm-hmm.
we're telling ourselves. Um, but yeah, specifically for anxiety, it's always like talk first about the breathing and making sure that we're able to regulate that.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
That's all great stuff.
but anyways, moving on because I know that I want to get to 9 people watching, by the way. So I'm
Cool.
saying hi. What
Thanks
up,
for tuning in,
everyone? Thanks for
everybody.
tuning in. Um, so one of the big questions that Kevin Wayne actually talked about with him and I was relationships into drawing different parallels between me and you. Whereas for me, it's been really difficult to keep a relationship while also trying to chase like a very entrepreneurial endeavor or dream. And I
Mm-hmm.
think out of all of our friends, I won't say all of our friends, but like it's very for us. I think it's been a very common trajectory where it's kind of been on our own, like understanding that there has been like financial struggles
Mm-hmm.
for both of us,
Mm-hmm.
and you were able to do that while maintaining a relationship, and it felt like I wasn't able to do that while maintaining a relationship. So I
Right.
guess from your point of view, how was it managing thinking about the financial stress that comes with maintaining that relationship, as well as like I want to double down on getting this career off the ground and
Right.
and making it that all work.
And you're asking me how did I manage to how have I managed to kind of balance
Yeah, how are you able
all
to
of these
balance
things?
it and still like make Nicole a priority of yours without kind of getting it swept under from like all that grind that's almost needed to make it
Yeah.
in your perspective field?
Well, I can tell you one thing for sure, and anybody that is, decides to uh, dive into a relationship where somebody else is pursuing something that maybe isn't so stable, those people are don't get enough credit probably because it's stressful on them. And so I think uh, Nicole being so supportive of what I do
Mm-hmm.
um, is really helpful. I think she, knowing enough of my friends and musicians
Yeah.
that I'm, uh, close with, and her just coming out to shows and that sort of thing. I think she has a better understanding of what I do
Mm-hmm.
and what I'm trying to do, and that's been really helpful. I think there's a period, maybe for most, just kind of like maybe the similar thing that I had with my parents when I was like, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna step away from school, and they kind of look at you like, what? You're not gonna? What do you mean? You're not gonna go back? You're not going back next year? There's that period of where
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable, and they're like, oh man, like you better just think about this. Maybe don't. Maybe you just finish this up. It's good to have this backup plan type
Yeah.
of thing, and I understand that, and I think it was the same um with Nicole and I. Like I think maybe there was a period where and rightfully so. She was maybe a little bit concerned, like, oh, I don't know. And huh? Oh, she's interjecting. Yeah, she said she also grew up, and yeah, I was getting there.
What do you mean grew up from what?
Um, I don't know. I guess it's different for everybody, but I think again, like with what I'm doing, it's not always super stable. And but it goes beyond the financial thing. It's like when there's something that you feel like you need to do, because it's satisfying emotionally, and when you're doing something and you notice that you're just way happier in general. When you're doing these things, you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of something that'll keep you on track. And I think maybe once the other side of the relationship sees that or understands that, it's like, oh, okay. And you do, I think as I've gotten older, I've recognized that it's not, it's not a monetary thing always. It's, that's great. If you have financial stability is much needed, but it's, yeah, it obviously being happy is ultra important. So anyhow, balancing a relationship while pursuing something like this, I think it's been helpful, not so much more helpful now that she kind of is like, I don't want to say she bought into it, but I think she gets it. And like she said, she interjected and said, hey, I also grew up, and it's like, I think as I've gotten older, and I think she would probably say the same, is that, you look beyond the financial thing, and, it's a quality of life type thing, regarding, your emotional health and the overall happiness. So that being said, yeah, I think her seeing that this is something that I've basically, I always say that I sold my soul to the devil. Like I sold my soul. Like I think this is what I want. That's like got a negative connotation, but yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. So and she gets that.
Yeah.
So that's helpful, and it's like it's this extra thing that once you've established it, and we still have discussions about it. I don't want to say it's like out of the way, because there's always stress that comes up with no matter what you do, but it's one less thing that there is to where you're like, oh, okay, she gets this. She knows why I'm doing this, and why so much of my effort is placed here. So it's difficult when maybe somebody else, like maybe this is why it would be tough, is when someone else doesn't understand why they're not getting any attention, or I don't know. Balance is strange, right?
Yeah.
Because even if you get to where you want, goal wise, with whatever you're trying to accomplish, putting all of your effort in all of your focus on one thing is probably not great, because there's so much more to life than your success in business or in whichever endeavor. I don't know, just balancing that. I don't know that I think so much about it anymore. There's like certain things I have to get done.
Yeah.
So, you pay the bills, you do all of that. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm here to create music, and also, balancing the relationship is just like, okay, let's not talk about me, and I want to hear about what you've got going on. Let's,
okay.
So how was the gig? And same breath, I ask her, how was work, and we talk about stuff that she's got going on and all that. So it's I don't know, being thoughtful and understanding.
When you said that Nicole said, when she said she grew up, growing up around like being more supportive towards like buying in like 100% double down on your dream and your goal, is that what she meant, or was that what you were talking about?
I think so.
Okay.
Hey, Nicole, when you said you grew up, what how does that reflect like the acceptance of like the music thing for me? When you said that you grew up, well, I mean, we've all grown up. So like, what did you mean as far as like what does that mean for what I'm working on professionally? Like, you grew up, so how did that change your outlook?
Because then you realize there's more to life than school, like getting an education. You can do and be successful without.
Can you hear her?
A little bit faint though. Nicole, just come
She
in.
basically-
Just come in.
Go ahead. You can pop in the shot. Can you see her? There she
Hey.
is.
What up?
I can't hear you, but hey, Kev, nice to see you.
Oh
but
yeah,
I was
we could
just
see
saying
her.
that you can. Oh, weird.
You're good.
You gotta come cheek to cheek,
Cameo.
cheek to cheek,
Okay.
because we're cropped. Like
You don't need to get right on it.
yeah. Bob
squeeze in?
says
Here, why don't
hi.
you sit here for 1 second?
Oh.
Sit right here. Sit here for a second.
Oh.
It's all good.
What
Spontaneous.
I was saying is that I think you grow up and you realize there's more to life than a 4-year education, and that you can be successful without doing those things that have been ingrained into us since the beginning of time. At least it was for me in my childhood.
For
So,
sure.
Yeah, I think you grow up and you learn that you don't need to do those things necessarily to be a successful human. And I think at that point in my life, when Dennis, was like, I'm going to do this, I was in school, I was unsure, and that's what I thought you had to do.
Do you think did that transition happen when he moved first to Nashville? Like the transition of like, okay, let me like support this decision, or is that what decision you made when you were like about to move? Also, Kevin Wayne says hi and Bob say hi.
Oh, hey guys. I think it came. It was before Nashville.
Before Nashville.
I think, him moving there, I was like, he's really serious. Like, good for him. But I think before that, even, I realized, I don't know, maybe a bit before, maybe a few months, 6 months or so, I was like, yeah, this is really going to happen, and he's really going to try and do this. So you either stick with it and you support the person, or you kind of get out of their way.
Yeah. How was so there's two other questions. So like one, I think being in Dennis's situation with like finances, it's been tough while I was dating, like going on trips, going out to places to eat, doing adventure. How was that on you, thinking about like, okay, I have to take care of more like the financial burden of dating, I guess?
That's a great question. I was actually just talking to one of my coworkers about this.
Nice.
My sister gave me some really good advice, and I don't remember when this was, but I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. She was like, relationships are about like, you're going to give sometimes, and then you're going to receive other times, and then the roles are going to be reversed. So right now, I just think that I'm going to be giving a bit more than he will be able to give. So he's on the receiving end.
Okay.
And then I like to think that as his hard work tends to pay off, then I will be on the receiving end, and he will be on the giving end.
Got it.
I think that relationships all are fluid, and things change, and it's bound to happen. It's just a matter of when.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, that's I like that answer. Mrs. Caravello also says, isn't it also very true that if your partner is happy, then you are happier as well? Hi, Mrs. Caravello, by the way.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, that's totally true.
Also, Bob, I love that mindset. Relationships are almost never 50-50. Okay, Bob. And he also gave me all his what he does to work through his anxiety. Nicole, what about you? Any on your dealing with like type of anxiety or stress, what has helped you?
Well, I haven't quite figured that out. But I think, working out has played a really good big role in that, relieving anxiety and stress that way. I also think it's really important, if you are struggling, to establish care with someone to talk, like a therapist or somebody, having some kind of outlet or someone that you can talk to when you are getting in those ruts. So shameless plug there. But
love it.
I think personally, like working out and then doing things that I really enjoy doing. So like something as simple as, and people make fun of me, but I get my nails done. And that's
Look
like
good.
self-care for me, and I look forward to that every 2 weeks. That's something that, and it's nice to talk to people.
Yeah.
Especially during this time, you don't realize how we're such social individuals, and we really thrive on spending time with one another. So,
and the touch, like someone just physically like touching you, like if it's like, a very like the oxytocin release.
Yeah. Also, like facial expressions.
Yeah.
Smiling at somebody. Now we can't see that.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. It's so not personal any longer. So
no, I have a scheduled chiropractor appointment with this guy named Dr. Jason. I found him on YouTube. I don't know if you watch those chiropractor videos of people just getting adjusted and hearing. Dennis does. Yeah. I went to go schedule an appointment just so I can get my shoulders readjusted. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Pulling up all that tension.
But yeah, no, appreciate it. Hopping through, coming through. One day after, wait, you got vaccinated as well. What was that experience like for you?
I really didn't have like a really bad reaction. I had the Pfizer vaccine. I think I got my first dose the December 30th. Totally fine after the initial dose, and then got the second dose a few weeks later, 3 weeks, approximately 21 days. And I felt okay. I felt like lethargic, sluggish, maybe a little like just slightly under the weather, but I didn't feel like the body aches, chills, fever. I didn't have any of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. No, like I just got done with it Tuesday, my second dose, and I was out for 2 days, just with more just like fatigue, a little bit of fever, chills, and I popped an Advil and it was all right.
Yeah.
But now I'm at 100%. I feel like a titan. I'm gonna go hug people, but knowing that I still can't hug people.
I know.
It's awkward times.
Which vaccine did you get?
I got the Pfizer one as well.
Pfizer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Matilio says the eyes still smile. One last question before I let you go. During the tough times with the relationship, what has helped?
I think it's really important. I mean, for me, what has helped is a routine of some sort. I'm a routine type person. So on Fridays, we typically go to one of our favorite places to eat that still serves food and drinks.
Yeah.
We are very fortunate here. And that's like our time to catch up with one another, see how we're doing, like how the week was, because it's really easy to get, I know I'm this way, Monday through Thursday, it's just like super mundane. You're doing all of your normal things. You might not be, checking in with one another as you would frequently like to do. And then so Friday comes and just like kind of debrief, chat, have a drink, which is nice to do. And I feel like that has been really important for us during COVID and like what's going on.
So really getting that once a week check-in together and being together. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very precious.
Being intentional.
Being very intentional. So precious. No, we love it. We love you guys. I was wondering, is anyone else going to say anything else before Nicole hops off? Any other questions for Nicole? Nothing so far. There is a delay though, so it always takes some time. But anyways, if we do, I will tell Dennis. Yeah, and if anything, I'll just tell Dennis to ask.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Okay.
Nice to see you guys.
Nice to see ya.
Nice to see you too, Kevin.
See you later.
Thank you.
I love the cameo by Nicole. It's good seeing
it
her.
was not planned. We didn't plan that.
Yeah, it's good seeing her.
Cool.
So the last question I asked her was like how she was dealing with tough times in the relationship, and she was saying it was very important to be intentional with seeing you at least once a week and doing something that, like going to the restaurant or get some drinks at and get some food together. So almost like
Right.
a date night once a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
yeah,
about
that's been really enjoyable.
uh,
What were you saying?
Bob says, what's the secret to keeping healthy super white eyes? He wants to ask that to Nicole.
Healthy, super white eyes?
What's the
What?
secret to keeping healthy super white eyes, he says.
Bob was wondering what it would take to. How do you. What? He wants super white eyes. What's good? What's good for your ocular health?
Clear
Eye
eyes?
Visine.
Well, there's like
Kevin said clear eyes.
it's like some other type of it like specifically makes the whites of your.
But is that permanent or is that just like a
No, it's just
temporary?
like
Bob, less bagels.
Less bagels and honey buns, all right?
Less, yeah. Does you still eat honey buns?
I don't know.
Those are great,
It's
though.
a
I haven't had
pantry
a honey bun in a
classic.
long time.
Pantry classic. Your mom says Lumify drops.
Who said that?
Your mom.
Oh, my mom said Lumify.
Yeah. Is that a brand?
Oh, okay. Nicole seconds that.
Okay. All right.
I guess I never thought about how white my eyes are.
Yeah, I don't know
Now
why.
I'm gonna start paying attention to that. Thanks, Bob.
He says, yeah, less carbs, got it. I heard eat more carrots.
More. I always mess with Bob about bagels. I think because after playing floor hockey, we go to Panera. So I just, it's either Bob is on a diet of bagels and cosmic brownie.
And I gotta think, what was the other thing that? What was the other thing that he always said? Pop Tarts? No,
Pop Tarts,
it was Pop Tarts, but I don't know anymore.
Gushers.
Gushers. I guess yeah. Since we're kind of talking about your mom, since you moved, I know this is like the first time kind of being away from family, living on your own, but like out of state.
Right.
How has that changed the relationship between you and your parents, and then also Mia, who is your sister?
It's definitely, I don't know. We talk like really like super regularly.
Mhm.
I probably talk to them just about every day.
Oh wow.
And with FaceTime being popular now, my dad had said it once, and he made a comment. He's like, "How great is this?" I don't know. He's like, "Just think about how cool it is that we can do this."
Yeah.
Because it's it's great to text somebody or great to be on the phone and hearing someone's voice or getting a message from someone. But when there's that visual part of it too, and you could see someone there and you're laughing and you see all of those different emotions being expressed. It's like, oh, it makes it so much better, and it doesn't feel so distant.
Yeah.
And honestly, me being down here, I think it's when I go home, there's such a greater appreciation for family, and when just like anything else, you take things for granted when it's a part of your day to day, and it's just what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in a different scenario, comes up, or when you're when you move away, or when something changes, when there are changes that are made, you look at things differently, and so I have a greater appreciation for the support I have from my parents and my sister, and going home's always a blast, just connecting with everybody.
And is there anyone that reaches out more than the others?
We're all pretty consistent. I don't know.
Really?
I talk to my sister quite a bit. Yeah.
Nice.
Talk to my mom quite a bit, and my dad quite a bit. So.
Do you think that has strengthened the relationship because you are away and it seems like you have to make more of an effort to engage and keep in touch?
It doesn't really feel like it's an effort. It's just like a part of. It's like I don't even want to call it a habit. It's just like. It's just what I'm used to doing. I've been close with my parents forever.
Yeah.
They were extremely open to all of my different periods of growth, and like through all those periods rather. And I've always just been able to come to them with whatever, and I've always as you get older, there's that period when you're younger where it's like you don't want to tell your parents anything. It's not cool to talk to your parents. And then you get older and you're like, oh, that was actually pretty great that I had that outlet, and that I had, those ears that were happy to hear what I had to say, or hear what I was going through. And it's the same as I've gotten older. And I'm probably more open with my folks now than I've ever been,
So I guess like one thing that happens to me often is, since moving away, specifically around like California, there hasn't been as much time to talk. And that's mainly because I think needing some more space, given specific like ups and downs with like family dynamics. But since like my mom's not working right now, there has been more of like a miss of like wanting to talk, and that makes a lot of sense. I think I haven't been home since August 2019, so it's bound to have a trip back. And I think that distance created a lot of it created a lot more closeness between us, because when we do talk, we're trying to get into more of like what's going on
right
with our lives. And there also, the funny thing is, like, there's a point into the conversations when we get to things that like meeting expectations around money, around almost like career status, like how come you're not there compared to friends, or like comparing you to someone that has like a degree, or same thing like for me. Like I'm curious, does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, not with my parents having those raising those questions. Not a whole lot. They're super supportive of all of it. They're just kind of like, they're both incredibly hardworking and have been their entire lives. And, they know that that's what I'm trying to do, or what I'm doing. It's just keeping your head down and trucking along, and just working, no matter what you're doing, just to be working hard at it. And if I have a change of heart, or there's a different idea I want to express in a song, and it doesn't sound at all like something that they were used to hearing when I was 18, some of those songs that maybe they would like to hear again, it's like they're like, okay, they respect all of that. So I don't know, they're just, I don't think that they don't really raise those questions a whole lot.
Nice.
I mean, every once in a while my dad will say, hey, a couple more years, you'll finish that degree, finish that degree. I'm like, I know where he's coming from, and it comes from a loving place, but I think he knows that that's probably not in the cards.
Because I think it's hard to see them, or like from like a parent's eyes, to see the struggle, like trying to get through it and really break through. But it's almost like a reminder of like, hey, like I'm putting in this effort, and as much of time and effort you put into it, there's gonna be one day where the breakthrough is gonna happen.
In my mindset, in regards to whatever that breakthrough or whatever that is, has totally changed too, where it's like there really is no, unless you set that goal, unless you have a goal and say, this is where I want to be, and you have like a number or whatever, wherever you want to be, that's definitely changed. I think I'm now like, I want to be happy, and I want a career that's keeps me happy and is sustainable. That keeps, that I just want to pay my bills and be happy making the music that I'm making. And I don't think it would be like most things that I do. I want to do them with all of my heart, like I don't want to get involved with stuff that I can't genuinely give to, if that makes sense. So I don't know. Yeah, the whole getting to the top of that mountain is something that's, my parents don't really bring it up a whole lot. And if I ever have, days where I'm just venting to them about this or that, they're pretty quick to say, just keep on trucking, keep doing your thing. And that's how I look at it too, you know. And it's again, the success is different for everybody and happens at different periods. And I do think that if you kind of step out of your own way, those things seem to kind of, even little issues, they seem to work themselves out when you just stick to your guns and just stay a decent individual, you know. I don't know, maybe you can call that karma. I don't know what that would be, but
and no,
parents are super. I got off track. Parents super supportive, you know. If I ever have questions, they're always there to lend advice and encourage.
And like ever since I known your parents too, they're super open, willing to talk, and always cracking jokes and keeping things lighthearted as things might get super like dark or serious at tough times. They're really good at communicating that and be like, yo, we got it, like don't worry about it. Taking care of the situation. What about the foreseeable future? What are you thinking about staying in Nashville? Are you thinking about going back to the Midwest, Chicago? What do you think?
I like Nashville a lot. I like the location. I mean, you're central to a lot, and travel by car, you know, to get down to New Orleans is like 8 hours, and to get to Chicago it's about 7 hours. So it's like you're kind of in the middle of this portion of the country, and I like that. And I'm not too far from home. I like the part of town that we're living in, and I see this being my home for a little while. Things change, you know. But and I love Chicago, so who knows? Maybe I'll end up there sometimes if they want to end up back there someday. If they want to lower the
property tax,
rent. And property tax, they can lower that, and maybe I'll. I don't know.
So
I love where I'm from. It's interesting. I didn't ever move away with that whole like, you know, screw that place.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my childhood, and I think I was raised by wonderful people, and had great friends that I still keep in touch with to this day, and all those memories were made back there. So you know, why wouldn't I enjoy getting to go home every once in a while and hanging out there? So
how much longer could you see yourself in Nashville? Let me say that. Like how? Like...
I have no idea until something gives me until there's a good reason to leave. I don't see. I haven't really thought about that. You know, at some point would like to get into a house and have more space, like most people probably are have done or are gearing up to do. But I like Nashville a lot. It's cool.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot going on right now. I mean, we don't go out a ton, and shows are kind of scarce. But when they do happen, it's wonderful to get out. And...
Can you see yourself raising a family? I don't know if like, even thinking about family is something that you've considered yet.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everybody kind of at some point at least discusses it or thinks about it. I think if I were to have a family, though, I would like to. My head is on straight, but I'd like it to be on a little straighter. So I mean, there's just a lot of uncertainty, and I think, and that's another thing too. I mean, like, how long will that's probably always going to be there. You know what I mean? No matter what you accomplish, there's going to be a new hurdle in front of you. No matter how far you get, and but yeah, I think starting a family would be cool. I don't know. I mean, it's
still far away, you know. And
yeah, it's not a, and it sounds weird to call it a priority, but it's not at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah, and it's I think it's hard since like socially, like we're taught like specific age range that we should shouldn't get married. Previous generations too of maybe our parents. I'm not sure when your parents got married, but my parents got married around 24 and had me.
Yeah, same for my parents.
Yeah, had me when right now like 28, 27, 28.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, there is no way.
No way.
Like
I think there was maybe this. this unspoken, well, maybe probably was spoken for most people, where it was like, when are you gonna tie the knot? And when how about we want we want all the grandparents want grandkids, that whole thing. And it's like, I don't know. I think it's different now. I don't feel that pressure really so much. I mean, you see friends get married and friends start families, and I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Because they if like anything, if it's something you want to do, and that's do it by all means. It's a wonderful thing. For me right now, it's not not at the top of the list, and but I think it's a beautiful thing when it's I don't know, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Starting a family is a cool thing.
No, I get that. Yeah, I think Gary Vee said it once, said it really well. He was talking about like expectations that you put on yourself to have specific timelines. If anything, it just creates unnecessary anxiety that isn't needed.
Yeah. In anything.
In anything.
People do that with all sorts of stuff. Well, this guy was 28 when he did that.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I'm not that guy. Or for women or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure there's that pressure for just people in general. I don't want to be like gender specific or talk or gear any of these questions towards a certain gender, but just for people in general, there's definitely pressure from parents, and it varies. And everybody's kind of has their own perspective. Mine has definitely changed, and I don't know. I'm happy right now. But I don't know.
No, I mean, no,
I haven't really thought a ton about starting a family and all of that, but I mean,
yeah. Your mom asks, are all those flannel shirts behind yours?
They are all mine. Yeah. I just told, actually, Mom, for you, I told Kevin. Kevin said he doesn't have any flannel. I said, well, I've got to get rid of some, so I'll be sending Kevin a flannel care package.
Yeah, so much flannel. All right, the other thing that I have, so it's been an hour, and usually when I have an hour break, we always say drink some water. So yeah, you are drinking water, great. So everyone, the 10 people watching, also if you have some time to drink some water as well, and also stand up once the stand up bot timer hits. So it should be hitting soon. Yeah, just so that we start keep it moving, keep it active, and
right.
It's good to kind of know when you need to take a break or something like that. Because we can get in the conversation and keep talking for hours without taking some type of break. Do you got to use the bathroom at all?
I went when Nicole was.
Oh, did you?
When Nicole popped in. Yeah.
Smart. Okay. So I'm gonna stand up, and then let's. You're gonna do some push-ups. You wanna join me?
Push-ups?
Yeah, it's push-ups.
How many push-ups? Oh, your camera's sliding.
Yeah, I'm standing up actually.
Oh, you've got that desk.
Yeah, dude. Big investments, like that crypto money right there.
I gotta take my headphones off to do push-ups.
All right. Yeah, let's do. We'll do 25, and then I'm gonna run to the bathroom, and then hopefully everyone in the audience stays on, and also does push-ups as much as you can, or some type of activity if you need to go and walk around or do something. Even if you don't come back on, I think it's just important to get us moving. Hopefully this is a good reminder just to keep our bodies active.
For sure. All right, 25 push-ups, and then you're gonna hit the bathroom.
25 push-ups, and then I'm gonna hit the bathroom. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And big thanks to Kevin for having me on. Thanks for listening to me ramble.
All right, and we're back. How was it?
Good.
Good. Feeling the blood.
Yeah, squeeze in a few extra ones.
Nice. I also got some water. All right, so let's move. So the last couple things, just want to talk about finances and then the music piece, and then we'll do the speed round. So the other thing about finances is, what year or what time has been the most financially tough? And what made it so tough?
What year?
Or what time period? Yeah.
Kind of a tough question. I guess it was most stressful to leave my day job when I've worked for myself basically for the last, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years. But I left a job when I was 24, 23, 24 because I just didn't feel like.
What job was that?
Guitar Center.
Guitar Center. Okay.
I left there to just focus on the music.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a bit scary at first because you're like, well, I don't really have a good game plan, but I know I don't want to be working here because I didn't feel like I was in a good place. And it was just early mornings. People I worked with are great. I still keep in touch with some of those folks and my old manager there.
Mm-hmm.
Great people. I just felt like I needed to step in a different direction if I really wanted to commit to something, and that was a bit scary. But financially, I don't know. I just always try to find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Certain weeks are more stressful, or certain months are more stressful, just like I'm sure it is for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's all relative. Yeah, I can't think of it like an actual period. When I first moved here on my own, in 2018, it was a bit like having some long weeks driving for Lyft or whatever.
Yeah.
Now driving for Uber Eats during the day, like I think it's a lot less stressful, and I don't really mind it. I don't know.
Okay. So
I kind of just embrace struggle, like the struggle a little bit. Rather than I've been stressed out about plenty of that stuff, but it's like now I just like, well, you gotta do it. Just go do it.
Yeah. Okay.
And be consistent, and so that at the end of the month you're not stressing out.
Yeah.
Give yourself this dollar amount to make per week, and then on to the next week.
But even getting to that point, like how long did it even take to like say like this is my goal for the month or this week, like I need to hit this number and able to like survive or pay rent?
I don't know. When I first, I think I'm better about it now. As far as being consistent, like no matter what, music aside, all the other stuff aside, doing whatever sort of side hustle that doesn't involve music, I need to be at this dollar amount per week. I've kind of picked a moderate number, and it makes it much more that way. You're not like, for me, it hasn't been like, well, I didn't hit the goal, like a daily goal. Rather, I give myself the weekly goal. So I say, well, today was a slower day, or hey, I've got this, I'm going to chat with a friend tonight, so I'll just cut today short and get almost to the goal, and just know that I have the rest of the week to hit that bigger number.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, I think as long as I do that, that's made it a lot more. It feels more. It's more feasible rather than trying to like pack all of your work into like a couple weeks and then paying your rent and your car insurance and all that. You know, freaking out. You know, every day when you wake up, you're like, oh, this is due today. I don't really do that anymore. I think I've gotten better about it.
Is there a financial goal that you want to hit in the future?
No.
So really,
I don't think about monetary value so much anymore, other than just paying my bills. But I also don't spend a ton of money on like much. You know, I don't buy a lot of extra stuff. I like stuff that works, and most of that stuff lasts, so I don't end up buying it again. And so then really I'm just faced with just your regular financial burdens, like your utilities or, you know,
basic bills. Yeah,
it's not so bad. It's really not so bad.
Okay.
I don't have a financial goal in mind.
Okay. So even this, like, it's more, I feel like you're even way like more low maintenance than I am. I mean, for sure we knew that.
Oh yeah, we know that. Anybody that knows Kevin, yeah. I just like to give Kevin crap.
But that thinking throughout like the course of your life, you think that has changed with material things, being more minimalist, knowing that like while that was something like you learned like when you were gigging to be like, this is all I really need, like this is my pack, and then that's all I need to go on the road, and that's it.
Yeah, it's definitely changed in the last few years. I don't know. I don't know where it really came from, but I like just things that are. I look at things more like as tools. Things that are just tools. You know, like I have like a microphone that I'm using today. I've had this for a while. You know, it's just my laptop. You know, I try to take care of my things. I don't know when that changed really, but I do know. I just like having go-to items.
Yeah.
You know, I try not to have too much extra stuff. And, you know, putting stuff on eBay has been great, you know, because I don't use this or wear this anymore. And then you get rid of it and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I think the whole retail therapy or like materialism doesn't really create any happiness. You know, it's always fun to get new stuff, right? Yeah. New gear or, you know, whatever, you know, maybe you get a new microphone and it's like, great, you get to test it out. That's cool. But like, it doesn't really shouldn't change your outlook on life. And I think that,
implants.
Huh? Calf implants? Oh my God.
Anyways.
Okay. It's changed a lot.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And I'm not a minimalist. I mean, as you can tell by all of the flannel, you know, I probably only need like 6 of those. But I'm gonna send some to Kevin. So
no, that definitely appreciate it. I need to have more flannel in there, switch it up. So one of the, I guess this is more of a fun question. So a lot of the YouTubers or like people on Instagram or the influencers, what have you, get to a certain point of financial status that they would buy their like parents something. Or buy a family member something, or buy a car for a friend. What do you think would, once you hit that $1 million mark, because it's easier. I wouldn't say it's easier, but the industry that you're going towards, it's like you hit a hit, boom, life can change overnight. It's almost like an overnight type of thing. And I'm sure it's going to hit at one point. It's just a matter of when. What would that item or possession be for someone?
Huh. No, that's a good question. I don't. I don't know what I would get my parents. Like what I would. Maybe take a vacation somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe a family vacation would be fun.
It could be friends too. It doesn't have to be just parents. Anyone, just anything, even something Nicole or someone.
Yeah, it'd be fun to take a vacation just with any of those groups, family, friends, Nicole. It'd be nice to just. It's strange. I don't think about that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Because first of all, I don't feel like I need a vacation. I'm very fortunate to be able to like work for myself. and do this thing that, yes, while most people think I could be totally out of my mind for just taking that leap and being like, well, I make music, I'm gonna make it work, and
Yeah.
I feel very comfortable and like, oh, this, you get used to doing something, and
Mhm.
and I'm able to do what I want to do, and
Yeah.
so that's cool. But yeah, I guess I don't know, get some cash, help out with whatever student loans my dad has helped me out with.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big one for sure.
Where to?
Student
Like a
loans.
trip to like Broad Stop, or are we going to Cedar Point? Where are we going?
Brat stop. Cedar Point. I hate roller coasters. Brat stop. Where is that? Why have I heard of that?
It's in Wisconsin. Bob used to
Yeah,
go
right.
just for lunch and come back. It's one of my favorite things.
Gosh, that's a long way for a bratwurst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I have to write these down.
Okay.
Think of some things that I would.
Anyways, kind of going into the music part. What everyone's been waiting for. How
many people are in this? How many people are here right now?
We're at 9, and I think your dad was saying tell your mom. I think we're referring to something about the clothing or material things. I'm not sure what it was.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, they have a lot of. My parents have a lot of stuff.
Yeah. That's hilarious though.
I like that he puts that all on my mom.
Yeah. What do you
You
think?
should see his desk in his office. You should see that.
What's in there? What? Anything?
There's just stuff all over the desk.
Just papers?
Clutter.
Mm.
It's funny because you can only see the chat right now, so I'm curious to see what he says back. He'll probably get all defensive and.
Yeah, I'll let you know what he says.
All
right. Kevin Wayne asked. He wanted to know, what's your songwriting process like?
And hello, Kevin. How are you? I guess it changes. I definitely don't ever, not too often at least, I don't sit down to try and write a song just out of nowhere. Usually I'll have a line in my head or something. I'll write that down or grab a quick voice memo on my phone. Sometimes, yeah, most of the time there's a guitar in my hands when I do it, and there's kind of a melody that comes to mind for where the vocal will start, or whatever melody comes out of the guitar. And yeah, usually and it's strange to say, when a song is done, because technically you can work on it forever, right? You can constantly change whatever you've created. But when it feels done, usually there's not much second guessing, and I like to think a lot about everything. So it's kind of funny that that's something that when it feels like it's done, there really isn't even the thought about that. It's like, oh, this is, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really thinking about a fourth verse or adding anything else. It's like, oh, I kind of like where it's at.
Yeah.
But it changes. I mean, it depends on what I'm inspired by. Yeah, I don't know. Does that answer the question? Well, it's hard. That's a tough one.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know that I have like one particular process. Usually
yeah.
pick up a guitar and
Yeah.
if something starts to flow, I just let it,
Would you say more times than not, would you say the melody comes first, or like the beat comes first, or the lyric comes first?
Probably melody.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a melody. Or like there's a mood. Like I'm playing something on guitar that sounds happy or sad or whatever, and it's like that will bring about whatever words that were inspired by that feeling, and then there's like maybe these topics that come up that I'm like, oh, okay, this would fit this feel,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. I hear other people get asked that too, and I was like, I don't even know what my
process.
I think there's usually a guitar in my hands. There's some sort of melody,
and then it just flows. It flows from
sometimes
there.
it just kind of happens. I know that's probably like cliche. I'm sure most people say that, or it sounds like it's not so thoughtful. But there's thought usually when something happens, and then I kind of dive deeper into like what I'm really trying to discuss. Or
What type of music have you been listening to lately?
A lot of blues.
A lot of blues.
I guess I've been a big fan of blues for a while, but yeah, a lot of blues and jazz. I go through like little. I don't, and that's another thing. I don't really know why this happens, but I'll listen to, the other last week I was listening to like My Chemical Romance.
Yeah,
It's like I
yeah.
don't make that kind of music, but I still love all that stuff, and it's interesting to hear those songs from when you were
Junior
a little
high.
kid and
Yeah.
you were inspired by that. Yeah, and now I'm listening to um, gosh, Miles Davis and
Hmm.
T-Bone Walker and stuff like that. Everything country music. I mean, I just love music. I try not to think so much about the genres anymore versus just like I love that driver's license song. I think it's a great song.
Oh, I see. That's a top hit
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
huge song. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Someone was talking about it. I put it on. I was like, oh, this is great. I like that song.
What's the like? What is that? What would you even say that genre is though? Like that very like the voice, the vocals of like who sounds like that person? I don't know. Anyways, never mind.
It's
Never mind.
almost like they're singing with like a British inflection,
Yeah.
but they're not British.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean though?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds like a British accent or an
Mhm.
English accent, but it's yeah, I don't know. I know what you mean. I know that there's a certain sound.
There's a certain sound. I'm not sure.
It's like a contemporary pop vocal.
Yeah. All right. So this is something I was curious about. So like specifically around Temptations and the music scene, even
Mhm.
talking to other musicians, it's going into the recording studio, especially in LA. The culture is going in like super late, like getting in at like 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and
Mhm.
pulling an all nighter, and like leaving when you're in the morning, pretty much, and with that, there's a whole spectrum of things like temptations around recreational drugs, temptation around alcohol, and then temptation around women. Um,
Mhm.
and I could see how that could be super enticing, and specifically if you're like ramping up in someone new or even been in an industry for a while now. How has that been able to be managed even before COVID?
What studio time? Being in the studio?
More the temptation with what the music culture kind of like leans on you without being like said, the unspoken things.
That stuff doesn't really affect me at all.
Okay. No.
I'm so out of that. I know what you're talking about, and I've
Yeah.
only heard stories about. You hear about what goes on in the studio. My projects have all been DIY with people that I'm pretty close with,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm there to make music. I don't really. Sure, it's fun to have a beer
Mm-hmm.
during a recording session. That's great. Maybe it loosens you up a little bit, or whatever
Mhm.
whatever you're doing, or maybe somebody wants to smoke a joint. Okay, sure, go ahead and do that. Whatever
Yeah.
you would like to do. I don't know. I don't think about that kind of stuff. I think I'm more so focused on trying to get the recording that we want,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and I try to spend my time doing that. And usually I don't have a bunch of time to work on it.
Mhm.
If you go into the studio with a big advance from a label,
Mhm.
I mean, you got tons of money to work with. As far as from what I've heard,
Mhm.
you can some of these budgets can be rather large, and as an independent artist, I don't really. That's not something if there's a cold beer around, that's great. I'm happy to have a beer and record some songs. I don't indulge in.
What about the live gigs? The live gigs with I remember like even when going places with you, there was for sure like women in the audience that was interested, or free
Yeah.
bars or like the open tabs since you are
Oh, yeah, yeah.
performing.
Well,
Um,
Right. But
that
sorry.
was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I've been in a very loving relationship for so long that's
Mhm.
not really Is it flattering? Sure, great. Who doesn't want to be I don't know, gawked at, whatever
Flirted,
I don't know
flirted,
what.
hit
Yeah.
on. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is that, like, I'm sure it feels nice. Hey, okay, cool. I'm glad I wore this shirt tonight.
Yeah.
But there's not, that's not really a something that gets in my way at all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what was the other you were saying?
The
Bar
the bar
tabs. Yeah, no, I
tabs.
don't. Yeah, not a. I don't. I don't like to get messed up and sloppy at a gig.
Yeah.
I'm there to try and give people the best of what I can give them.
Mm-hmm.
So to get, hammered and expect yourself to play, the best of your ability and sing wonderfully is not really that. Those don't go hand in hand with being, a hot mess or being real drunk.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll have a couple beers during a show or whatever, have a drink, or someone will say, "Hey, would you like a shot?" Sure. Someone will buy you a shot. I'm happy to happy to do that and partake. But yeah, those things are not not really a concern, honestly.
Okay. So pretty focused on the music, focused on the work while you're there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to have a good time. I'm happy to party with some people and hang out. But again, not
It's
and most of
controlled.
the times I'm driving to these gigs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get. Why would you? I don't want to drink and drive. And get all sloppy. That's just it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just no good. So
Mhm.
I definitely I keep my keep it under control and you want to be professional too. I don't, especially if someone wants to buy a T-shirt or buy a CD from me. I mean, I don't know. I try to carry myself in a
Mm-hmm.
professional manner. I don't want to. You don't want to leave. Why would you want to leave somewhere and saying, "Hey, that guy was a mess"?
Yeah.
What a drunk mess. And maybe that's the first impression they have of you. They don't know you before then.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
how I look at it.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
I think that's having a good head on your shoulders, and I think it is tough, but it sounds like you've been navigating it perfectly.
Yeah, it's interesting to be asked these questions because I don't think about them. I don't know. I think I just know what makes sense and what's going to get me in trouble. What
Yeah.
as far as drinking is concerned, I've got a wonderful girlfriend and I don't women that show that's not like a
So this question is more tailored towards the younger musician. Going back into your 20s, everything that you've learned up until this point, what would you tell a 20-year-old or someone that's about to graduate high school? Any advice you would give them about your experience? Something that you would tell your younger self.
To somebody else?
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing, I think maybe this is cliche, but I think creating honestly. I don't know that there's. I mean, I'm sure you could fake honesty, right? You could write a song that maybe sounds like it's coming from a real place, but and even not with music out of the question. No matter what you're doing, I think just staying honest and being good to people. I don't know, just staying good at heart. I don't know. I don't know what I would tell people. Because I think there's a lot that you learn that you only learn by. I don't want to use this word. I'm trying to be professional, but some things you just got to fuck up to figure out.
It's over, dude. Sponsorships are done.
Sponsorships are over. Oh, demonetized. Sorry to have ruined that for you.
No, it's all good.
I think that, yeah, you got to there's a lot that you have to mess up. And I don't know, it's like as much as you want to give advice to people, most of the time those young, in those years, you're probably not going to take that advice anyway.
Yeah.
You look at your parent, hey, at least my parents or whoever, you just do this now, be all in on this now because it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
And I look back at, all that stuff and it's like, yeah, they were 100% right. And I can't go back and change that.
Yeah.
But you learn from that and you're like, oh, and then you learn like, well, there's no real point in regretting anything. I wish I would have done some of these things differently, but, there's certain things you got to figure out on your own, no matter who's influencing you. I don't know.
Yeah. Or
go out and screw some things up and you figure it out. But yeah, I don't know. Seek proper advice when needed.
I'll think of this. Like, say you took someone under your wing and they came and be like, Dennis, like, I'm trying to go full time in music. and I'm thinking about leaving school, and like one of my songs is getting picked up. Is there anything that I should do? Is something that at that point in that moment where I can lean on for your support? Like, what would you say in that instance?
When you say song getting picked up, what do you mean? It's
it's big, but it's not like charts big. Like it's big enough where like local people are hearing it.
See, and I'm so out of the loop with that because I've never had a hit song or anything like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what I would tell those people because I there's so much of the business or whatever that I learn, about all the time. The stuff that I wasn't familiar with. It's like, oh, now I know that that's kind of how that works.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if anybody's signing anything, make sure you have a lawyer review whatever you're signing. If it's if you're talking about a song being picked up or a label wants to sign you, especially these days. I don't know enough about that business. I've been doing the DIY independent thing for all these years, and it's like it hasn't even been that many years. I don't know, 10 years or something. But
so the DIY thing, what's something that you were surprised that you like learned that it was like would be something very valuable or useful for someone to hear? Because you were saying like the authenticity, being truthful, being really honest with your music.
Yeah.
What about on the business side? Like you should make sure to talk to a lawyer if you're about to sign anything, but what about like less than that? Like, oh, if you're working with this bar, this is the average amount of pay that you should be looking at if you're doing like a small gig.
Right. Don't undervalue your own, if don't undervalue what you do, especially if you're surrounded by people that want to work with you and I mean it's good to be humble, but in certain instances, you want to, and I should take my own advice, I guess. I don't know. These are just thoughts that come through my head.
Sure.
I don't know, and I think there's a point where being too humble can kind of get in your way, or but man, I don't know. There's so much that I'm learning. I'm trying to think of something that I would tell somebody to do differently. Surround yourself with people that are better than you. I would say that, and that's kind of subjective, right? But like in anything, I think being around people that are clearly have a better handle on things, or maybe know more, or they have more knowledge in regards to what you're
music.
doing. Music or whatever, though. I mean, but if we're talking about what I do, then I would say go get your ass handed to you at a different gig and go try to play with these guys, and because it checks you. Okay, I can work on this.
Yeah.
The monetary thing, as far as being paid by venues, that's so that's variable. So, and that changes. Some gigs are great to take, even if maybe there was an opportunity that this time around there was no pay. For you. You have a chance to maybe be in front of a good amount of people, or then maybe it's like, okay, well, hey, you didn't have anything going on tonight anyway, and go snag that opportunity and meet some new people.
For the lowest amount you've ever gotten paid aside from being free, what was that amount?
Oh gosh, I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, there were some gigs back in Chicago where like we had to pay, like it was like a pay to pull. Like I bought all the tickets up front and then had to sell them.
Or not even that. Like, well, I remember those days for sure.
Yeah, and that's like just not cool. I mean, it was great. Those shows were a lot of fun, and there were a bunch of people most of the time. But yeah, that's.
But I was saying like, if someone like they just gave you like $20, you'd be like, yo, here's get on there and sing some songs.
20. I mean, I'm sure that's happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I've probably left gigs without money before because nobody showed up, or nobody wanted to throw anything in the tip jar. I don't know.
Yeah. What about the highest amount for one gig?
I don't know, man. That's like I don't want to talk money.
All right. The last thing was what's the goal for music?
What's the goal?
Yeah. So like for
Man, honestly,
Oh, go
if
ahead.
there's a general goal, it's just to create rather than looking at, I don't know, and I've heard people discuss this. It's like not creating music that you think people want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Making what is honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's an audience for everything, and if you're willing to do the legwork and get out and play shows and
Mm-hmm.
or do live streams, whatever you want to do, and you want to hustle, I think there's a way for you to do that and to see some growth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. I think I just want to be learning all the time, not put myself in a box. If I want to learn something that's kind of jazzy, then I'll do that, rather than, well, I do this. It's like, okay, that's cool. And some people, maybe that's what they want to do, and that's wonderful too, because they
Mm-hmm.
probably have a better idea
Mm-hmm.
about what they're trying to accomplish. But yeah, I think just learning. I want to stay learning and creating music and making records. Yeah, I don't know.
So I guess like the kind of summarize the
I don't have anything set in
goal
stone.
is continuing creating music that you really want to put out,
Yeah,
without feeling like without that pressure of you need to do this in order to
right. And
okay.
and there's a lot of that today. It's like, well, your social media, you don't have enough followers, all this stuff. I mean, that's such a big part of it today.
Mhm.
And I mean, yes, would it be helpful? Maybe. I don't know. It's so different for everybody, and there are different fans for everything. Whether
Mhm.
it's whether you're a fan of, I don't know, if you're big into music or you're big into basketball. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's okay to blaze your own trail and do your own thing. Learning is always great too, though. So if you being on Instagram and being a little more active is going to expose more people to what you're doing, and that's a good outlet for you to introduce yourself to the world, then by all means do it. And it's right there at your fingertips.
Mhm. Okay.
I don't even know if that answers your question.
Or I guess like I don't think it has to be super structured in any way. So like for example, like for my goal for like mental health space and for therapy would be to get licensed first, and then open up a private practice in Illinois, and then open up one in California, and then like hire associates, build out, and continue advocating for mental health as well as just physical health, just overall the health umbrella. That's like the main goal I want to do. And I guess even thinking about the music, like if I was trying to do music, would it be like I want to hit like 1,000 people buying an album, or I continue like you were saying, like I want to continue putting out music that people enjoy, but I'm still able to stay my authentic self and my honest self.
Yeah.
Just curious. What do you think?
I don't, as far as numbers are concerned, I don't, maybe it would be helpful if I started establishing some goals or, with that in mind. But I really, man, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really sure how to answer that. Just creating honestly is really what I want to do, and not, again, keeping myself in a box,
Yeah.
If I want to write something that's bluesy, then I'll go that route.
If
the pop song comes up and I enjoyed writing it and I'm happy I like that song, then I'll put that out too. I mean,
it's almost that flexibility and that freedom that you want to keep in.
And it can be. I'm sure it's definitely not consistent. It's not something that to be, and it kind of is a reflection of my personality. I feel like I like a lot of different things. So I think that comes out in my music. I mean, and I'm all right with it. I think for a while I kind of resisted it, and I was like, well, I just do this, or I just do the songwriter thing. But I love to play guitar too, so I try to do that. A lot these days. So yeah, man, I want to keep working and making records.
Yeah. No, I relate that to a lot, because it's hard to just like box us into one category.
Right.
That we can just do this for the rest of our lives, but having that flexibility and doing things because might not be feeling doing like singing one day, you might want to play guitar more one day,
Right.
and have that flexibility is it's nice. Okay, and then this is, yeah, I guess wrapping things up. Well, was there
Cool.
anything else? Or I guess wrapping things up, I want to do a speed round with you. So these are just one word answers, I believe.
Okay.
Are you ready for them? I believe there's 10. And then we'll bring up some questions for the audience if anyone has a question for you. Or me.
Sure.
All right. Would you rather have an expensive music pedal or a lifetime supply of guitar picks?
A lifetime supply of guitar picks.
Okay.
'Cause I don't use pedals.
If you had to pick the guitar or pick an acoustic or an electric guitar for the rest of your life, which one would you pick?
An electric.
Electric?
Yeah.
Favorite venue you've played at?
I did a show just before all this craziness hit the fan, in February in town at a place called the High Watt. That's a great little room in Nashville. That was a lot of fun. I mean, that's the thing. That's kind of a weird, odd question too, because every place kind of has its own charm, right?
Yeah.
You could be stuffed in the corner behind a bar, and that could be great too. That could feel cool. But then you can go play for, some people that came to your show, and that's awesome too. So I don't know. Yeah, the High Watt was awesome in
High
Nashville.
Watts.
That was a fun spot. High Watt.
Favorite
Yeah.
watch you own?
Oh, I've been wearing this lately. This is my grandfather's. Let's see if I can.
It's not a G-Shock?
Not a G-Shock. No, this is. I've been wearing this a lot lately though. This is just an old Citizen. It's my grandfather's watch. I've been wearing this a lot lately.
Or try
Keeps
to
good time.
put it over behind your hand. Like put your hand behind it. Yeah, there we go.
Can I get close there?
No,
I
that's
don't know
good.
what year it is.
It looks good. Looks fresh.
Might be the 80s or something.
Was it
yeah, I wear
passed
this a
down?
lot.
Was it passed down?
Yeah, when my grandpa passed, I think it was just like possessions that some of us got,
Okay.
and I remember having this, and then once I kind of got into watches a little bit, I was like, oh, I forgot I had it, put a new band on it, put a battery in it, and yeah, now I wear it quite a bit.
Nice. Watch you hope to get in the future?
I don't know. I'd like something like a two-tone, like a silver and gold type thing. Maybe like a date just, or I don't know. I'm kind of over the Rolex thing. I feel like it's great. They make wonderful stuff. But I think once something gets really popular, I do this thing where I don't want to be involved with it,
Yeah.
because it's so like I always try to do something else. So maybe I don't know. I like all sorts of watches too. So.
But if you got one, you're not going to turn it down. You're like, nah, I don't want it.
No, maybe it'd be great. They're awesome watches. I like Omega. Omega makes great stuff too.
Okay. So
Yeah,
a two-tone day what? What's it called?
A two-tone, like date just, or
Two-tone
day
date just, all
Two-tone
right.
day date would be cool,
All right, Dad. You hear that? You hear that? 10 years from now, engagement present. Two-tone day just.
Right.
The most talented person you've ever played with?
Like in a band with?
Yeah. And band and just a gig, pickup.
Most talented.
Not bonfire fingers, just really good, strong,
Really bonfire fingers.
just gifted.
Man, that's kind of a.
Who do you think? Yeah, who do you think?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Man, that's a really hard question. It's weird because everybody has their own. Most people have their own little thing. There's like certain things that I love that people do, and it's not. I don't look at it like it's just like, man, it's the greatest one that I know. That I'm surrounded by. I've been lucky to play with wonderful musicians. I think a friend of mine back in Chicago, Evan Pinter, is probably like the best guitar player that I know.
Okay.
No, I think he plays great.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's wonderful.
He still lives in
actually
Chicago?
produced my first record, and he played
okay.
some guitar in there. He's great. Killer player.
Evan Pinter.
Evan Pinter, yeah.
Okay.
Check him out. Find him on Instagram.
Yeah. Who's one person you would want to play with?
Oh, dead or alive?
Alive.
Dude, this is crazy. I haven't even thought. I don't really think about this kind of stuff. I don't know, man. This is the problem. I mean, I like all sorts of music. There's like a bunch of different people I would probably love to play with, but let's just say like Elton John or something. Elton John would be cool.
Elton John?
He looks like he has fun on stage.
Rocket Man?
Yeah, man, it's killer.
Yeah.
Elton John's awesome.
What's the song? I don't even remember the song. Tiny Dancers. What is it?
Yeah, Tiny Dancer.
Yeah, okay, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather play with Stevie Ray Vaughan or John Mayer?
Would I rather?
Yeah.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Okay.
Because I've heard that the volume on stage for him was just like insane, and I think I would just like to experience that and just see like how that really was, you know. And just like it was.
What do you mean the volume? Like it was very loud?
Like the actual volume, yeah. Supposed to be crazy loud. I mean, that's like his tone is killer, and like part of that, I know like there was just quite a bit of volume involved from what I've heard.
And
he was just so much force, you know.
Okay, so it's powerful.
That he played with. Powerful, yeah.
Okay, so does he have like how's his hearing?
Well, he's dead.
Oh, is he?
He died in a plane crash in 1990, flying out of Alpine Valley.
Damn. Okay, so it was a tragic accident. Do you know how his hearing was before that?
I don't know, but I know that a lot of people, as you age, you know, if you play enough loud shows like that, you definitely get, you know.
They don't do the earplugs or the whatever those
tinnitus
things are?
And yeah, some people wear those like a hi-fi earplug where you can still hear, but it kind of. Okay. I try to wear those when I can.
Yeah.
Okay. My ears ring pretty much all the time.
Favorite song you've written?
Probably 1979.
Okay.
I like that song.
Yeah.
Because it was cool to write looking through somebody else's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed that process and like trying to make sure that I didn't screw that up, you know, because you hear these stories and you want to honor those memories that these other people have of their childhood and whatever else, you know. So it was interesting to play that for my mom, and her sisters heard it, and like there was no question whether like I just wanted to get the story correct, you know. That's a big fear because it's hard. You want to write about somebody else, it gets kind of sketchy, and it's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't touch that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it can be done right, and and I enjoyed that process. And
it's wild how vulnerable songwriting is. Like you gotta really open up and feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah. For sure.
So I know you're a big Blackhawks fan as well as a wrestling fan. So would you rather go to the Stanley Cups game for the Blackhawks or watch the Olympic gold wrestling match with Jordan Burroughs?
Jordan Burroughs. Would rather watch Jordan Burroughs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
100%. That was so quick.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I like hockey. I think I like that hat just because I had it for so long, and then I got a brand new one, and it's still like the hat that I wear when I do wear that. I'd love to see Jordan Burroughs win a gold medal. That'd be killer. I've never been to the Olympics, obviously. Most of us haven't been in the Olympics.
No.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see Jordan Burroughs.
All right. Well, this has been fun. Where do we? What's next? When are we gonna hear more music from you?
I don't have a date set yet, but I've got a song that hopefully I'll be putting out in the next couple of months here. I'm just kind of in the planning stages right now, and working on a record as well. So I've got that, and yeah.
Okay. Coming soon.
For now, you can listen to all my music on Spotify and Apple Music.
Spotify, SoundCloud.
I don't have anything. I don't think I have anything on SoundCloud.
I think I did. I checked. You got some music on SoundCloud. Yeah.
All right.
So Apple Music, SoundCloud,
you'd like to listen to music,
Spotify, Dennis Caravello. Open it up if anyone wants to ask Dennis a question. Other than that, we'll kind of wrap things up. before. How you feeling? How was it?
It was great. Yeah, it's awesome to open up and just talk about some things that I don't normally, you know, I don't want to say I bottle things up. I'm pretty vocal, you know. I mean, I'm happy to discuss this with most people.
Yeah.
It's always good to catch up with an old friend this
Yeah,
way
yeah.
too, because it gives you like, oh, I want to know where you're at, and you're getting to know where I'm at
For sure.
in life. Yeah, I think it was cool. I'm happy to have had the opportunity to discuss it. I like to chat, and especially now more than ever, you know, it's like good to see that people are taking care of themselves, or you know, or not, and then you can address those things and say, hey, you know, later on you could shoot me a text or whatever and say, hey man, you should definitely look into this meditation app, you know.
Yeah.
I'm worried about you. But no, I think it's, yeah, in all seriousness, yeah, it's cool. It's cool that some people tuned in and everything too, so to hear me ramble about whatever,
Yeah.
happy to discuss it. And I do feel like I'm not in a spot to give anybody like real advice, and I think that's because I am constantly learning something new about myself and learning something new about the way this world works every day. Or maybe every half an hour I learn something new, you know. It's like, oh, okay, yeah,
For sure. If you're thinking about one person to nominate or want to learn more about their personal life, who would that be? Could be in our friend group, could be anyone that you know, that maybe I can reach out to them. But who would be someone that you would want to hear from?
Man, I don't know. Maybe shoot. Man, that's probably a few people. It'd be cool to hear Bob on here. Honestly, I'd like to hear Bob open up.
Dude, I got Bob.
I'd listen to that.
Second person you said, I said Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess.
Yeah, I'd like to hear Bob hop on here.
Okay.
TJ, you know, all of our friends. I like to hear, because I feel like that's the funny thing though. Most of us know most of what we're doing. You know, like how we all operate. We've all grew up together, but maybe Alan. I'd like to hear him on here.
My dad?
Bring Alan on. Yeah.
Oh God, dude. Okay.
You asked. I don't know. I'm thinking of all sorts of people.
Yeah,
I would probably like to hear Nicole, hop on here.
Yeah,
I would listen to her talk. You know, it's cool because even being in a relationship with someone, you know, there's stuff that people just don't discuss, or we're like working through it before we bring it up, and it'd be cool. I don't know. Yeah, Alan, Nicole.
My dad says I'm listening, dude.
Huh?
My dad says I'm listening, dude.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Hello,
Maybe
Alan.
Dad. Maybe we'll get you on here. Any other final thoughts? Any final questions for me?
Oh, for me, you want me to ask?
Yeah. If you had any.
How are you doing? Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good
through all of this. Feel good?
Feeling good. Yeah, I guess feeling good. Yeah, healthier. Like I never really take for granted like just being sick or not feeling 100% through after getting the second vaccine is like, yeah, like today I was super energized knowing that we were going to talk, making sure that I was ready for it. Cool. Getting like hydrated and just trying to do some type of movement today because 2 days ago I was just not doing anything, like no movement, no walking, not even going outside. So your dad says maybe me and Alan together, a father duo. Dude, that'd be hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways, yeah, I think we're about to hit the 2-hour mark, but definitely appreciate you coming through. Thanks for everyone for signing in, asking these questions, talking with us. It's been a pretty fun activity. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's cool. I like discussing life, and I feel like I walk away from things like this, like maybe learning something, or like, oh, okay, maybe this is something I can address, or I don't know about you, but
yeah, for sure. No, I learned a lot about you today, and yeah, like sometimes we don't even get to have these conversations, but trying to make set some time and just talk, I think it's worthwhile for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Happy to have been able to do it, and would be happy to do it again.
Sounds good. All right. Well, other than that, hope to see you all later, and we are going to be signing off. And if you want to find Dennis, he's on Instagram. You can find him on Spotify as well as all his other social media platforms at Dennis Caravello.
Oh yeah, and if you want, sorry, last plug here, shameless plug. Bands in Town, they have an app, or they're on, the website. You can, if you track me, click the track button on my artist profile. It will keep you up to date with all of my live streaming events and just regular in-person shows as well. So go ahead and track me on Bands in Town if you haven't already, and if you dig what I do, I'd be happy to see you at one of these shows.
All right, Bands in Town. Okay. All right.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you later.
Right on.
Peace out.
And thank you, Kevin.
No problem.